Hey everybody, I'm back. We're doing another no-cook meal prep today, and we are focusing on fish and seafood. I also wanted to preface this video by saying if you're not a fan of fish or seafood, you can certainly substitute all of these fish products with chicken. I like using the Tyson grilled and ready chicken, so if you want to make that substitute, you totally can. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, this first one that we're going to do here is kind of a Mediterranean inspired dish. We're going to start out with some couscous here. This is from the Aplenty line. I believe this is an Amazon house brand, and I've used a lot of their products. I really like them, so we're going to use this. So this is couscous with Moroccan spiced veggies. So it's pearl couscous tossed with roasted bell pepper, chickpeas, edamame, and olives in a light sauce of olive oil and spices. So I thought that sounded good, so we're just going to kind of split this in half here, just like that. I think that looks good. I also just happen to have some Kalamata olives and a few capers on hand, and I'm going to add these to this dish. If you don't have these, not a big deal, don't worry about it. I just thought it kind of sounded good. So I'll add some olives there, just a few capers. And if you're using capers, make sure you rinse them a little bit to take some of that brininess out. Just sprinkle a few of those on there like that. And I am also going to use some feta cheese. So I have probably what equates to maybe 1/3 of a cup of block feta. And I'm just going to cut this real quick and add this in here. And I'm just going to do some cubes here. Just kind of spread that around like that. There, that looks good. So the seafood that we're going to use for this is some frozen shrimp, and this is pre-cooked. So no need to worry about cooking any of this shrimp. You can kind of add as much as you want here. These do still have the tails on, so be mindful of that. Maybe do a couple more. And feta and shrimp actually do go pretty well together since this is kind of a Mediterranean inspired dish. Of course, feta is Greek, so that's in the Mediterranean. So this will go, I think, really nicely together. So we're done with this one. We can get the lids on and move on to the next one. All right, so for this next one, we're gonna do kind of my take on a classic fish and chips, but instead of chips, we're gonna be using some mashed potatoes for this. So I'm using this Idahoan buttery home style mashed potato here. I have that in my bowl, and I just heated up my electric kettle here. So we have some boiling water. We're gonna add 2 cups to our potato flakes here. Just like that. I'll give this a quick stir. This doesn't take long at all to set up, just a minute or two. So we'll make sure everything gets stirred up real good. That looks good, and I'll just set this aside for a second here. All right, so while our potatoes are setting up over here, we're going to go ahead and add our green beans. This is a restaurant style. This is a Green Giant product, and these are garlic parmesan green beans. I thought that sounded good. We'll get these open up here. I'm just going to put these right in there. Ooh, I can already smell these. These are very garlicky. All right. This bag serves 4, so we'll save those. Just use them for something else. Everything kind of tucked in here. Yeah, those smell really good. Okay, I think our potatoes are done. Yep, these look good. I'll just split this in half here and put this in our other compartment. Okay, that looks good there. I'll smooth this out a bit. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to add our fish. So I'm just using this Gorton's brand. I think nationally this is pretty easy to find. This is some cod here. So I think I'm just going to do 1 piece each. This comes with 4 pieces. I think since we're doing kind of a lunch portion, I think this will be just fine. So this is good to go. I also always keep some tartar sauce on hand just in the fridge. And if you're going to use tartar sauce, I would add this after you've cooked all this. So since this is mayonnaise based, you don't want it to get all yucky in the microwave. So these are ready to go into the freezer. All right, and this last one that we're going to do, this is kind of a salmon and spinach ravioli that I thought sounded good. So we're going to start by prepping our ravioli. So this is another Amazon brand that we're using here. This is 5 servings in total, so I'm only going to use about half a bag just to get 2 servings. And we're going to heat this up in the microwave. And the reason we are doing that is because all of these raviolis, this is raw flour still, so we do have to cook it. So I'm going to cover my ravioli with a little bit of water, and then I'm going to put some plastic wrap over it, and I'm going to cook this on high in my microwave for about 8 minutes, and then it should be done. So we'll go ahead and get this going, and we'll start prepping some of our other stuff. Okay, so while our ravioli is in the microwave, we're going to go ahead and thaw out some of our spinach. So I have some chopped frozen spinach here. Again, this is the Amazon brand. I can get a bag of this sometimes for like 79 cents. So this is a pretty good value, I think. So we're going to put some spinach in this little bowl here. Probably about a cup of frozen spinach. And I'm just going to use, again, my electric kettle. This is the same water that I used for those mashed potatoes earlier. I'll just cover the spinach here, and I'll just let this warm up a little bit, thaw out, and then we will drain all the water off of this. Okay, our ravioli just came out of the microwave. It looks good. It's nice and hot and steamy. I tested one, and it is cooked perfectly. So we're good to go there. So I'm just going to drain this real quick. I'll pour everything back in this bowl. I'm going to use a mixing bowl for my stuff today. I know I normally don't do that, but I thought it just kind of would work better for today. So I have our ravioli in there. I drained all the water off of our spinach, so we can put that in here. That looks good like that. And I'm also going to use a couple packs of this chicken of the sea. This is wild caught Alaskan pink salmon. And I kind of prefer the packs to the cans. I don't know why. I just think it tastes a little bit better. So we'll put a couple packs of the salmon in here. And salmon and pasta actually do go well together, and salmon can kind of hold up a little bit to a few different types of cheeses, because our ravioli has ricotta and Romano cheese in it. So I think this will actually be pretty good. We got both of our packs of salmon in there. We're going to add a little bit of this Alfredo sauce, this roasted garlic and Parmesan sauce. I think I only need maybe half a jar of this. I think that looks good there. So I'll go ahead and give this a quick stir, and then we'll get this into our containers real quick. All right, so I got everything stirred up here. This is looking good. And I'm just going to try to split this evenly into our containers here. I gave this another little sample, and it was actually quite good. So I'm quite pleased with this one. Okay, that looks pretty good there. Let's kind of spread this out a bit. And just because I have it, I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to the top of this. Okay, and that's it. So we'll get the lids on these, and then everything's ready for the freezer. Okay, so here are 6 seafood dinners that are ready to go for the freezer. So over here we had kind of our Mediterranean shrimp bowl with some couscous. Over here was kind of my take on fish and chips with some mashed potatoes and cod. And then over here we have our spinach and salmon ravioli that I think is going to actually be really quite good. So I always get asked, you know, how do you reheat these once they're frozen? How do you plate these and serve them? So I'll show you guys how to do that. I think I want to have this shrimp and couscous for lunch today. So I'll go ahead and get this cooked up real quick and plate it and show you guys what it looks like. All right, like I said, I'm going to have this for lunch today. I think this will be good. I am actually going to take the shrimp off of this right now because I think the shrimp might cook at a little bit different temperature than the couscous. Keep in mind everything in here has already been cooked, so if you just wanted to thaw this out after it's been frozen and eat this cold, you could totally do that too. Cold couscous is totally fine. So we'll go ahead and put this in the oven for the microwave. I'm going to start it at 2 minutes and then give it a stir and see if it needs a little bit more time. Okay, so just pulled our couscous out of the microwave. It was in there for about 2.5 minutes, and it is nice and cooked and nice and hot. So we'll just pour everything into our serving bowl here. Just like that. That looks good. Now I'll go ahead and cook the shrimp. I'm just going to cook them on the top part of this container here, and I think these should only need about a minute or so. All right, so my shrimp were in the microwave for about a minute. I guess I would decide on how big your shrimp are. So if they're a little bit larger, obviously they need a little bit more time in the microwave, but these look good. They're nice and warm. So I'll just put these on top of my couscous here. And this looks really good. So I'm going to put just a little drizzle of olive oil on here because I'm fancy like that. Just like that. So for a lunch that comes together in less than 5 minutes, I think that looks pretty good. So nice and healthy. We got lots of protein, got some veggie in there, and then some couscous. So this will be a great little lunch for me today. So I will go ahead and link all of the products that I use down in the description if you guys want to check that out. Otherwise, I hope you guys try a few of these. I hope you like them, and we'll see you next time.